Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to play some 60 seconds Reatomized. We're trying to get all the achievements. I believe we have 42 out of 60, so we're getting pretty close. I've got a pretty decent idea of the run that I'm going to go for now, this run at least. We're going to do Ted because it's easier to carry Dolores than it is to play as Dolores and carry Ted. We're going to do Little Boy because we don't need it to be too difficult. Alright, in the scavenge, I'm going to try to get some things. We have to do like a couple cat endings, so we have an ultimate goal. But let's see if I can get gas mask, medkit, map, radio, rifle ammo, and flashlight. It's a lot of stuff, but we need to do it. Which we start here. I can see the map, I believe. Okay. Okay, so we're going to get the rifle here and this flashlight. It's going to be difficult. This is actually going to be really difficult. I don't know if I'll be able to get everything. Hopefully it comes stocked, maybe. No, I want that. Okay. Trying to keep an eye out while I'm running around. Also, there's an achievement for some roaches that I need to do, so I'm going to try to do those as well. We need the radio. I don't see the med kit. Okay, we get her. Oh, this is going to be really tricky. Don't see it in there. Med kit. Dang. This is actually really tricky to find everything. There's one with the bug spray that we need, so we'll go ahead and grab that. Oh, in the moment, I don't remember what I'm missing. Oh, bullets. Oh my gosh. Okay, I think I got everything. I think I didn't get the gas mask. I don't think I got the gas mask. I think that's it. Alright, so Tora update for that achievement. We have 443 items out of 1,337. So that's the progress on that one. We have to get 1,337 items during the scavenge hunt to get that achievement. Alright, let's go over everything we needed. Okay, so we didn't get the gas mask. But we do have the med kit. We do have the map. We do have the radio. We do have the rifle and the ammo. And we do have the flashlight. So really it's only the gas mask we didn't get. And here's how it works. It's called oh dang, what's it called? What's that achievement called? I can't remember the name of it, but it's basically you have to break all of those items in the shelter, as well as use all your food and all your water, and that's an achievement. So that one's kind of a tricky one to get because of all the items required. So I figured I would try to start aiming for those items because I want to get rid of all the scavenges that are like item required, you know what I mean? That way whenever I'm doing like the harder ones like the cuckoo's nest and like getting the mutant one, I can just focus on getting a whole bunch of food and a bunch of weapons and a whole bunch of water, which will make, you know, everything a lot easier. So let's look at what we got. So all of us made it into the shelter just a second before the blast. That was a close one. As long as we're all together, we can make it work down here. We remember hearing canned soup is healthy for you. When we opened up the shelter door, we noticed some of the shelves were already stocked. We can't really recall putting any of these supplies here, but we're definitely not going to put them in. But we're definitely going to put them to good use. So we got a Boy Scout book, we got a lock, and we got a chest shelf, a checker shelf, either one. And then he just goes on about cans, sleeping on cans, and all that fun stuff. We don't need to give them food or water until the 5th day. On the 5th day, we'll give them water, all of them. And then on the 10th day, we give them all food and water. And then after that, we kind of play it by ear. One of the big achievements we need to get that's really hard is making them all go crazy. So I am going to try to ignore them a little bit. Hopefully we get the events in a row that kind of help that happen, which would be nice. We are going to send people out. Mutated rodents are attacking our supplies. We're not sure if they're rats, feral bunnies, or mutated hamsters. All of these options are pretty grim. We could use spare ammunition or something else to get rid of every one of these pests. So we're going to go ahead and use the rifle because, like I said, we want to break that. We want to break all those items. That's the biggest deal. We didn't break it and we didn't use the ammo. That's fine. I'm sure we'll get some other times to do it. Our cans are saved. Too bad for the hairy mutant. I guess we're still on top of the food chain. Good for us. Alright, then it's just information about if they're thirsty or not, which day 5 is when we'll give them all drinks. We're not sending the daughter, even though I think she has the best luck. It's just every time I send her, that's literally when the event happens for her to possibly become a mutant. And that's probably the most frustrating thing ever. So we'll just send Timmy and hope for the best. I think he's decent. I like sending the kids out, you know. Alright, let's see. Timmy went out to the wasteland. We don't know when he'll come back. Day 4, so everybody's fine. It is very difficult to prepare for unforeseen circumstances. When you don't see them coming, well, they are unforeseen by definition. So that does make a lot of sense. We can't say we're prepared for what happened. We can't say we were prepared for what happened. True. Oh, I forgot to hit the radio on day 3. I'm a goober. Day 3 and day 7, I have to spam the radio. I thought I had all the radio events, but I guess there's one called Miracle, and it's basically you want to hear like Russians or something on day 7 through the radio. I'm not too sure. So I still need to break the radio by tinkering or something, but I need to remember to do that on day 3 and day 7. Fond memories are one thing, but we need to be ready for harsh reality that awaits us. Alright, so we're on day 5, so everybody gets water, because if you look, dehydration lines up perfect with that day. There isn't a lot of space down here, and we can smell everything. When one of the bricks got loose today, it revealed a hole. We felt pretty sick. It's the smell coming from the hole. It's terrible. Should we investigate and remove the source of the stench? I'm going to say yes, because we already got the dog achievement in the last episode. If you want to go check that out, that's cool. It's on my playlist. Make sure you look at those if you enjoy it. So we don't really have to hold on to the med kit for any reason. So we want to take risks and try to get them injured and then heal them, or try to get them sick and then heal them, just to break that item, which none of them did. And you know, if I was aiming to hold on to this med kit, every one of them would have been injured. That's how that goes. But hey, we broke the radio. I just noticed that. We approached the hole cautiously to peek inside. What happened next nearly gave us a heart attack. Some crazed rodent, a reptile or whatever this crazy mad creature was, leapt out and started jumping all over the dang shelter. It was everywhere. We couldn't catch it. Before we could do anything, it pushed our radio off the table and it went back to a hole it crawled from. We never saw it again. Alright, so we're on day 6. Nobody should be thirsty or hungry. This is insane. We keep finding spiders everywhere. They're in our soup. They're in our water. We swear some of them keep coming back, and they are bigger every time we see them. It can't go on like this. It's time to wage war on these spiders. Now, as much as I would like to use the medkit, I can't. Here's the deal. The spiders are one of the events that can cause Mary Jane to turn into a mutant. And that's exactly what I was talking about. If I would have sent her, I wouldn't be able to do anything. So we want them to smash them by hand. Not only will that give a chance for some of them to get sick, it'll give a chance for Mary Jane to turn into a mutant, which is a 1 to 2% possibility. I hope I get it. I've been trying, and it's difficult. Nothing. Okay. Damn. I genuinely wanted that to happen, because that's like a super RNG one. Not only do you got to get the event, but you also got to get her to get a mutant as well. So it's just rough. We decided we could get rid of these spiders with our bare hands, feet, and whatever other body parts we could use for lethal anti-spider attacks. Unfortunately, we've underestimated their chances. They're really fast. All we achieved was getting tired. Maybe we'll have more luck next time. I'm wondering if raising the difficulty will increase the odds of her becoming a mutant. I don't think so. Alright, and we want them to go crazy, so we're going to ignore them on things like this. Mary Jane didn't utter a single word today. This is very odd. Maybe someone should find out what's going on with her. No. Get neglected. Alright, Timmy's back. It's difficult to get through to Mary Jane. That's why we decided to leave her be. We were so afraid for Timmy, but he came back from the wasteland and is safe with us now. Our expedition reached a church which was still standing. Most of it was intact, and some people decided to turn it into a shelter. As we found out it was more than that. We weren't sure what religion they followed, but they were very eager to convince us that tomatoes are the source of all evil, and eggplants are the only hope for salvation. Those nice people gave us some canned soup. They say they don't like the taste of it. Now we're certain that they're nut jobs. Can of soup. This last expedition got us thinking. Maybe we could just drive away from this nightmare somehow. Of course, most of the automobiles available are completely burnt out, but if we could find a solid base and scavenge enough parts, perhaps we could build a vehicle of our own. We better keep an eye out for those future expeditions. We do need to do that because we need to do the tank, the Panzer escape. Okay, so Timmy is sick, so we can use the med kit, which is what we wanted. We're on day 8, so we don't need to feed or water anybody. We are going to send somebody else out on an adventure. It's really weird when you get the feeling that something is watching you, and our shelter is tiny. There's... Ah, man, my eye is driving me crazy. Sorry. Our shelter is tiny, but this has been happening for us for a while. We checked all the closets, and no one's hiding there. Is there something alive down here besides us? Maybe a rodent of some kind? If so, we need to show it that we're the dominant species of this little paradise of ours. We got to use the rifle and see if we can break it. Okay, didn't break it, didn't use the ammo, but we did use the med kit. So that's 2 items down out of it. We need to find a gas mask. So hopefully we'll get a trade or something that'll have one. Odds are it's going to be expensive with food or water or something like that, and we'll be in a rough situation. Whatever it was, it's dead now. Quite dead. Maybe there's more hiding somewhere in one of those nasty little holes. Alright, let's take a look. We're on day 9, so we don't need to feed or water anybody. But we are going to send Dolores out. Yeah, I think they're all healthy, so... Since we're going to send her out, let's give her some food and water to be ready. Alright. We'll send Dolores out. We'll hope that she gets some stuff. And that'd be nice. Oh, goodness. Sorry for the yawn. I get a little drowsy sometimes. Kind of early for me. Dolores is on her way to the surface. Let's hope she'll make it back safe and sound. Alright, so this is day 10. Everybody is absolutely starving and hungry and thirsty and all that fun stuff. Timmy's not doing great. It'd be great to talk to him and cheer him up. Nope. Get neglected, little boy. You guys sit there and be neglected. Sorry about that. We need all 4 of them to stay alive and all 4 to go crazy. Apparently yelling, "Get better," doesn't actually help anyone get better. Weird. I know, right? Alright, so Ted's still on starvation. She's still on starvation. We'll just go ahead and give them another just in case, because I don't want them to run away or anything. This is about doing the radio to get the government exit. We don't have that. Alright, let's see. If there's one thing we need to do, it's to keep using the radio on a regular basis to catch any emergency broadcasts. Alright. Can of soup. Okay, he's just hungry. She's in starvation still. What's going on, girl? What's happening? Give her another. Maybe it's... I don't know. That's odd. It's been a while. Don't know much about what's happening on the surface. If we had a chance to tune in... No. No. We're going to keep getting those radio events because we have one, technically. Ugh. It drives me crazy. When you get a radio, they just spam you with it. They say ignorance is bliss. Another day without any clue on what's going on might not necessarily kill us. Alright. Thirsty, starvation. Thirsty, hungry. Starvation. We're going to wait till day 15 to feed both of these two. Timmy and Mary Jane are in some need of some physical exercise. Letting them run around outside in the wasteland seems a bit too adventurous, but they could play tag inside the shelter. It's not like... No, we're not letting them do anything. You sit there, you do nothing, you go insane. I need you to go insane. So... If only there was a meter, you know? Like a meter to see how close you are to it. There's simply not enough space around here for any activities. We can barely stretch without putting elbows in each other's eyes. The kids weren't exactly happy about it, but it's about time they got used to the situation and understand the rules of the shelter. No running. Let them know, Ted. She's at dehydration, so tomorrow we'll give some food and water to a lot of people. Last night, the whole shelter was woken up by Ted screaming bloody murder. He was terrified, shouting something about tentacled radioactive mutants on top of his face. Turns out it was just Mary Jane stepping on his head in the dark. Ted took it very personal and demands medical care. Sorry, buddy. Do not have one. We used her up. We're not using the phone. Ted is injured, though, which is rough. Mary Jane tried to apologize, but Ted was not having it. He kept lamenting about broken noses and cracked skulls, stumbling around in the shelter and gesturing wildly until he tripped over something and fell. Hey, a can of soup. That discovery calmed Ted right down. Alright, let's go ahead and get them what they need. We'll do both for you. Hydration for you. Both for you. We're almost out of water. Ring, ring. There's a phone. We don't really want the phone. To be honest, I don't know how far this run will go because we're kind of low on supplies and we're trying to break everything and use everything. So, because we got, dang, Ted, you're injured and sick. You gotta put yourself together, man. It's way too dangerous just to be running out to a ringing phone in the middle of a radioactive ghost town. We're not taking any chances. It took a while before the ringing stopped. It was pretty annoying for all of us. All right, let's see. We were glad to see Dolores come back safely from the wasteland. We used to go out to the waterfront before all this happened. It was a great place to enjoy time with your family and watch ships, boats, and sailors. We were really excited to find one of our favorite yachts a few blocks away from our house. We found it a bit mysterious, and that it's now moored in the middle of the crossroads. Moored. That's an interesting word. But there are plenty of reasonable explanations for that. We found a few cans of soup in the yacht's cargo hold. It seems rich people like soup too. Soup is great. We love soup. Soup. All right, +1. The captain's cabin was a mess, but we managed to dig through it and find a fancy hat and a working radio. We weren't sure which one we should take. Tough choice, but we ultimately decided on taking the radio. Radio's fixed. Okay, we window shopped nearby parking lots for a vehicle that wasn't completely burnt out. Unfortunately, we found nothing of value. Maybe future expeditions will be more lucky. All right, here's the thing I don't know. For the achievement that I'm hunting right now, I'm supposed to break all those items, right? And use all the food and water. If one of them gets broken and then fixed, or like gets replaced, does that cancel what I was doing? Like, is it? I don't know how that works. I don't know how that works. Okay, we're gonna send somebody out again because we need to. You know what? We'll do. We can't get the med kit. Or, oh, this is reverse. We do need water, though. I can't... Well, I mean, technically, we broke the radio. Let's trade it, and let's get our water. And we'll get 4 of them, which is really good for us, because we do need some water. I thought it was trading for that, and I was like, well... Alright, we exchanged goods with the trader and she went on her way. Before she left, she insisted that we should listen to the radio broadcast if we ever want to get out of the shelter and find a safer place to be. You took our radio. You took our radio. So, let's see. Hurt, hungry, sick. We'll wait on starvation for her until tomorrow. Same with her. We'll do the 18th. We'll do the 18th for these 3. We need to send somebody out. We'll send Timmy. And since he's going out, we'll just feed him now to make things easier. Alright. Okay, Timmy's gone. Timmy went out to the wasteland. We don't know what we'll do if he doesn't come back. Eat soup? Probably eat soup, maybe? Let's do that, and that. Let's just go ahead and do that and get it low. As long as we have food and water, we can stay locked in, but we'll have to leave eventually. It would be good to head straight to safety instead of getting ourselves into more trouble, if that's even possible in this situation. Our hope is that our brave soldiers will come to rescue us and take us to some well-hidden, well-stocked government shelter. Timmy had comics about those, so you know they must exist. All we need to do is make contact with the military. We don't have a radio, so we're not going to do that. And to be honest, we did the government exit, so we don't really need to get that achievement anyways. Let's see. If there's one thing we need to do, it's to use the radio on a regular basis. I understand that. See what I mean about the radio? It just, that event gets spammed so often. Dehydration for Ted tomorrow. She's starvation, dehydration. We'll give her both tomorrow as well. We've always wanted to throw a party with a huge cake. For some reason, it never worked. One time we were promised a great cake, and it turned out it was a lie. That was a disappointment. We were glad. We're definitely getting a cake when the radioactive clouds are gone. Alright. Bless you. Bum, 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 bum. Planning far ahead is usually good strategy, but for now we should be more interested in our plan for water rationing. Not wrong. Alright, so Ted is dehydrated. He's also in agony. Kind of nervous about him. She's fine. Something's missing. Let's see. Fan? Check. Strange noises in our pipes? Check. Hellish yells outside? Check. Oh, Dolores hasn't spoken for a while now. That's it. and it's really strange. Talking to her would be a good idea. No, thank you. We neglect people around here in this shelter. We don't talk to nobody. We keep to ourselves and we do nothing. I'm sure they're all on the verge of going crazy. I hope. It seems that Dolores fought with her thoughts on her own and is much more cheerful today. I don't like that. Let's see. Agony. I would like to heal him, but I don't know. She's starvation. Let's just give her something. Alright, someone paid us a visit today. It was an overly cheerful hair. Man, how cool would that have been if they had a gas mask? We don't really need any of these. Accompanied by a grumpy old looking mercenary type who was probably our guard. She told us she was a traitor and eagerly showed us the items she had brought along. I'd rather keep these things. I'd rather keep those things. Another achievement I'm nervous about, which I think I'll be able to do later on when I'm not like grabbing random items, is we have to get like 111 days survived in the shelter, which is going to be crazy. It was hard to turn her down because of that dang cheerfulness, but we did it anyway. The woman seemed a bit disappointed and tried to offer us schematics for some weird gun. We turned that down too. It's not like we have any tools around here anyway. Alright, let's see. He's fatigued, hungry, agony, all that. Dehydration. Okay, we're going to wait a little bit to give her water. Yesterday during charades, we learned that Mary Jane... Hang on one second. Alright, yesterday during charades, we learned that Mary Jane doesn't know how to spell anti-disestablishmentarianism, and it left Dolores sorely disappointed. She insists on home, or rather shelter schooling, Mary Jane in a little. You know what? We'll say yes, because she's going to tinker with stuff, and maybe it'll fix the med kit and we can help Ted out. That's kind of needed. I don't know if that's going to help with the sanity. I hope not. Oh. Ted died. Poor guy. Much better. Dolores does not mess around. We started out with a spelling bee exercise that quickly found its way to a math revision, followed by a short physics course, and ending with tinkering with random objects in the shelter. Mary Jane looks exhausted, but we can't deny the state of our shelter has improved today. Yeah, I wanted the med kit to be fixed, but even if it was, Ted died, so we're kind of out on the insanity thing, but maybe we'll make it to the cat, and we can do one of the cat endings. Also, we could still break a bunch of items. Which would be nice. Our patience is wearing thin. We thought it'd be a good idea to take a quick look outside if there's any trouble in the area. As we're about to step out, a pair of animal eyes flashed in the darkness, and their owner started growling in a... Okay, so I feel bad for this because this is the dog, right? This is the dog. But we need to risk breaking the gun by using it. I don't think you can break the flashlight that way. But I think you could break the rifle, or at least use the ammunition, you know. So we're gonna... What? What? Did I not... Maybe I... Man, I don't know. I don't know what I did. I think maybe she was hungry or something and I just didn't notice. A quick shot with the rifle was more than enough to scare away or maybe bring down whatever creature stalked the darkness. We never saw again. Mary Jane's diet could use a little food. Yeah. If we only had a few drops of water. Oh, she died of dehydration. That's okay. We'll just run it again. We didn't have the gas mask, and I was kind of struggling to get it. So, we'll do another run. I don't mind. Make it a double run video. Alright, well, in adventure. Okay. Oh, man. Alright. So, we're going to go back and do the same thing. These are the achievements and everything. Alright, so new game. We're doing the Apocalypse. We're doing Ted. Little boy. Begin adventure. Okay, so... Flashlight. Okay. Alright, flashlight's right there. We don't need none of that. We got a gas mask right there. Rifles in that room. Okay, let's start with the flashlight because I'm not going to come back into this room. Okay. Okay, we got the gas mask. That's not the exit. Oh my goodness, I'm a fool. Okay, and we got the rifle here. I think the ammo's right here. I can barely tell. Yep, ammo. Okay, I'm looking around trying to find like the med kit. We'll throw this in there. Okay, we'll get her. The map is what we need also. Dolores. Oh, I'm trying to remember what else we need. Oh, medkit. We need medkit. Oh, and we need that radio. Okay. We also need some food at least. Something. We don't have time. Oh, we're gonna starve. I got literally all the items and no food and water. This one with these items, I'm gonna be honest, with these items, this is probably giving me the 467 out of 1,337. So I need another like 900 scavenged items. But yeah, man, this is giving me like the most difficult starts possible. And then I have to survive long enough to break all these items, which is crazy hard because the food and water. This is difficult, but hey, at least we got the day 3 and 7 so we can do that radio quest. We also had a padlock, we had some cards, and we had a harmonica that was in the shelter, so that's really good. Everybody's fine till day 5, that's kind of how that goes, and then day 10 you do the food and water. I just need to be more diligent about paying attention to their food and water levels, because I'm so focused on like using the items that I didn't even think about their food and water. Which they don't need anything. We're definitely sending people out. Our ammunition is missing. There's no way it was stolen, so it has to be here somewhere. Yeah, we actually need that ammunition. That's crazy. That's crazy that our ammunition goes stolen on day 2. Okay, we found it. Good. I was really nervous. I was like, dude, are you kidding me? Alright, so it's day 3. We have to play with the radio. I think you click it like 4 times or something. So just give me a moment while I do all that. It's basically till it changes the sound. Okay. I'm clicking it a couple more just to be safe. Because I'm really nervous that it's not going to happen. Because I've tried it before, I think, and it just didn't work. Found it. The ammunition clip was covered by a can. Too bad it was empty. But at least we have our bullets back. True, true. Alright, we're on day 3. We don't have to worry about nothing at this moment. We're sending Dolores out this time. And let's just hope she brings back something good. Really, we just need stacks and stacks of food is all it is. Dolores went on her way to the surface. Let's hope she'll make it back safe and sound. Okay, everybody's a little dehydrated, but we are able to wait until the 5th day. One of the cupboards in the shelter was a bit shaky, so we pulled it out to give it a new home. In the process, we discovered a secret door. Where does it lead? No idea, but let's find out. Let's go ahead and use the flashlight. Maybe we'll get some food and water, because we're probably going to need that. That's going to be the big difficult part. I don't know if we found anything. I don't think we did. We inspected every corner of the room and we found nothing. Well, that was a waste of time. Maybe I should have just used the gun and started blasting. Okay, dehydration for everybody. It's hard being down here, living here. We need to make the best of it, or else we might find ourselves in even more trouble. You know, one thing I'm nervous about this achievement, where I've got to use all these items in the shelter, is like, do I have to have them all broken in the shelter? I mean, the ammunition's going to disappear, but the gas mask will be ripped right here. The med kit will be open right here. The gun will be broken. I think the map disappears, the radio gets broken, and then the flashlight disappears. So do I have to, like if I run out of the food, right? Like, if I get more, did that count as me running out of the food? Or will it not count because I got more food? I don't know. We're trying our best to remain calm. The situation we're in is far from normal, and we might never get used to it again. We hope that helps. We hope that help comes soon. Sorry, I'm stuttering all over myself today. Um, it's high time we stopped wondering about what's going on and started asking questions. Or at least listen to some reasonable answers. So how about tuning to a radio station and learning a thing or two about the brave new world? We don't really need to do that. What day is it? Day 7. Okay, we got to do the radio again. I hope this works. I actually hope this works. Day 7 is the day that we click it several times again. And as far as I know, that's all you do for this achievement. I think it's like listening to the beyond or something like that is what it's called. Yep, miracle. Listen to the voices from beyond. Nice. So we got that achievement done. Good deal. They say ignorance is bliss. Another day without any clue of what's going on might not necessarily kill us. Everybody's fine. Our favorite radio stations stopped broadcasting. When we tried other frequencies, we found nothing but static. Are all of the stations gone? Maybe we should tinker with it. Yes, tinker with the radio because it can break it, and we need to break it. We need to break all the items. And it's still working. Tough luck. Well, we did what we could, but we can't hear a thing. Alright, we're on day 8, so we're fine for now. It is very difficult to prepare for the unforeseen consequences when you don't see them coming. Well, they are unforeseen by definition, so that does make a lot of sense. We can't say we were prepared for what happened. Alright. Oh, my... what was that? The Dolores is back, that's what it is. Oh, she brought a lot of food. What we make of today will be our tomorrow, so let's make it right. We are glad to see Dolores come back safely from the wasteland. Where to go for supplies? What a silly question. To the store, of course. We decided that bombs don't matter much, and our favorite store should still be our #1 stop for groceries. We found it, or at least what was left of it. Most food on the shelves was outdated and rotten. A lot of eggs were smashed on the floor. Guess what? Soup cans don't expire till 2015. Good for us. +4. Well, that's 10 years old right now. Didn't age well. I was just thinking about how I can do this. So if I get all items broken, I will feed them. I will try to manage it. Like, I've got a lot of food right now. I would feed them every day till the food's down to this level. And I would just try to get it done in, like, you know, as quickly as possible. So that's kind of where we're at. So day 9 is when we're going to do food and water for everybody. We are sending somebody else out because we need to get water so we can survive. If we can get some more water, I'll stop sending them out so that we don't risk people getting sick, and we'll focus more on trying to get events to break things. We had thought phone calls were a thing of the past after the atomic bomb obliterated everything in our little town. However, a phone booth on our street has survived the bombing somehow. It seems it's ringing right now. Should we send someone to answer it? No. That is the scavenger town, the villager town, which I believe I've already got that achievement. And we're focused on this achievement. I don't want more events popping up that we don't really need. It's way too dangerous to just randomly run out to a ringing phone in the middle of a radioactive ghost town. We're not taking any chances. It took a while before ringing stopped. It was pretty annoying for all of us. Also, while I'm thinking about it, make sure you guys like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. Leave a comment. If you feel like not subscribing, or if you do, leave a comment. It does help the algorithm. Hopefully it'll get my videos out to more people because I want the channel to grow. We're at 24 subscribers. My yearly goal, because I've been doing it for 2 months now, consistently, about 4 videos a week, and my yearly goal was to hit 50 subscribers by the end of the year, and I was thinking, like, that's a big progress, you know, that'll take a while, and, you know, you get 50 people to say, like, I enjoy these videos and I want to keep coming back, you know, and I'm at almost 25 already. I'm halfway through my goal, and I'm only 2 months in, which is... it's really amazing to me, to be honest. So if you have subscribed, I appreciate it. I just want to say thank you. Like, seriously. It's a big deal to me. It means a lot. Feed and water everybody. We're already almost out of water, which is fine. Some of Keener... nobody's in bad shape. I'll send Timmy. Timmy's a good one to run. We want to try to keep the parents alive. As we saw last time, as soon as the parents die, you're pretty much over with on that run. It just ends it. Because kids can't survive on their own and such. They shouldn't need anything. They're all slightly hungry, which is fine. We were pretty sure Mary Jane had her birthday 2 weeks ago. But it turns out it's today. Shall we get her something? a young lady trapped in a tiny shelter would enjoy? I'm going to say no, because we need to make them insane as well. So I want them all to be angry and upset. And I want them to go crazy and etc. Which I think that one helps with that. Mary Jane is too old for birthdays. That's what we think. Okay. Hungry, tired, and hungry. Alright, so the other day we heard a giant knock on the door, and when we opened it, we only found a suitcase on the doorstep. There's no one around. It isn't signed, but it sure looks like it's meant for us. Should we check it? You know what? Yeah, let's go check it and see what's going on. Maybe we'll get some water. Because I do want to survive a bit longer to be able to break some items before we actually run out of water. Makes me nervous without. Another can of soup. Didn't want that. We gladly accepted this sudden gift, and despite our suspicions, it turned out it was just a regular tomato soup. That we all know and love. Thank you, kind stranger. Let's see. Ted's hungry thirsty. She is hungry thirsty. She is hungry thirsty. What's that sound? A galloping horse? We rushed to the door and we were greeted by two men dressed like they'd come from a medieval fair. We identified the source of the sound, one of them holding two rocks and hitting them together constantly, while the other was skipping and pretending to be a rider. They said they're looking for some antique cup, but they'd gotten lost and they would be most grateful if we would let them check our map, provided we have one. Yeah, you can check our map. I don't mind. I don't know what this does. I don't think I've ever had anything from it aside from a thank you. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, suitcase. They seemed friendly enough, so we let them have a look at our map. They thanked us and offered us more supplies in exchange. We graciously accepted and wished them luck on their quest. Alright, let's see where we're at with these humans. Dehydration, starvation, dehydration, starvation. We'll give her water because she throws a tantrum and runs away. Hopefully Timmy comes back with a whole bunch of water. Ted and Mary Jane are butting heads lately today. Can I skip them? Yeah, because I want them to keep arguing and go crazy. Usually, I should have read it. I'm sorry. I should have read it, you guys. Typically, they argue over two movies. Let's just say it was Peter Pan and Harry Potter. After hours of wild gestures, loud arguments, emotional rebuttals, and a few pie charts, Ted and Mary Jane finally decided it was impossible to figure out who would win. They shook their hands and moved on, but it's clear the issue is still bugging them. Alright, so let's look. Dehydration, hungry. Alright, as long as we have food and water, we can stay locked in, but we'll have to leave eventually. This is about the radio, getting the government. We don't really care for that. The end. Oh, they both died, didn't they? Come on now. And we just got water. Oh my gosh, you guys. I don't know. I got some fragile parents today. Hey, what time are we at? I may end up just doing another. Yeah, let's just do another, I guess. Yeah, he brought back water. He brought back an axe. Man, getting these items is so difficult. It's so difficult. It's so difficult. Man, this is hard. I'm guessing, like, I gotta be fast with these items, is what it is. I gotta get these items fast and get food and water fast. Otherwise, I'm just not gonna survive. We need everything, so we got med kit. Bullets are right here. Rifles on the wall. Gas masks in there. Okay, yeah, we're just gonna start here and we'll get all those items. Gosh, man, it's so rough. Alright. Okay. Can't get that, that's fine. Okay, so we got this. What else are we missing, though? What else are we missing? And we need a flashlight. Okay. Get some food while we're here. We will get Mary Jane. Grab that food. I can't think of anything else that we're missing. I'm just grabbing things at this point. I think I got everything. I got the rifle, got the ammo, got the flashlight, got the map, got the radio. I got the med kit, I'm pretty sure, and the gas mask. I think we're at 475 out of 1,337 for the Tora achievement. So we're getting closer, bit by bit. Let me double check. So yeah, flashlight, radio, map, rifle, ammo, gas mask, med kit. And we got a lot of food and water. Holy cow. And it gave us an axe and bugs. Okay, so this is a good start. This is a great start. I think this might get us there. I hope. Alright, I hope. We can skip some of these. We don't have to worry about day 3 and 7, so I'm happy about that. How much did we get? We got quite a bit. I think this is the one. I hope. We gotta make them crazy, and we need to break all those items. So day 5, we give them all water. Do we even need to send anybody out? Let's not do that. I mean, of course, they could get sick if we do, which is nice. But because we need to use the medkit. But if we stay in the shelter regardless, at some point, somebody's going to get sick no matter what, and we'll use that at that point. And I think it'd be much better to use it during that issue rather than forcing them to get sick outside and then having to have it later on when they're going to inevitably get sick again. The radio of ours has been silent for the past few hours. We need our news. We need our music. We all agree that and if it's refusing to cooperate, we need to meddle with it until it works. Yes, we want to meddle and we want to tinker because we need to break the radio. Start off strong and break that radio. Didn't break the radio. That's okay. Well, we did what we could, but we still can't hear a thing. Dang it. Alright, that's fine. Day 5, we give them water. We're not going to send anybody out. Hear that? No, because no one is talking. Not a word in hours. Not at all. We can't just stare at walls. We need to do something. I'm not going to listen to the radio because I don't care about the event for the government. I care more about breaking things and driving them crazy. There's nothing here. Maybe if we try really hard, we can hear the neighbors in their shelter. Alright, so we're on day 4. We're fine. We're not sending anybody out. Playing a game or two might be a good way to relieve the mood and take our minds off the problems of today and tomorrow. And hey, playing games is good for you, so why not give it a try every now and then? Honestly, I'd like to get rid of the game so they don't have that opportunity. We played I Spy, and it was pretty fun for the first 3 minutes. After that, everyone got bored of the letter W. Okay. Dehydration. Yeah, so this is dehydration moment. We're not sending anybody out. A group of doctors knocked on the door today and requesting some supplies that would be helpful in refilling their first aid kits. We didn't doubt they were the real deal for a second. They did have lab coats and everything. Shall we help them? Yeah. We can spare the water, and that gets them cured like later on if we need it, which is nice. So that's a good idea to do that. Let's see. 1 bottle of relatively clean water is the closest we'll ever get to hydrogen peroxide. The guests were real grateful anyways. Alright, let's see. Go to the next day. Everybody should be fine. None of them are thirsty or anything. They will get hungry and thirsty again on the 10th day. There's been some radio chatter about airdrops from the military. It's about time. All those taxes had to pay for a crate or two. Shall we head out? You know what? Yeah. I'm wondering if it'll break the gas mask. Hopefully. If the gas mask just disappears, I'll be upset. Because I know that's a possibility. What did we get? Just, yeah, more food, more water. The airdrop crate we found wasn't exactly huge, but it contained a few supplies that will definitely help us. We were especially happy to find some water bottles and some food cans. For a minute, we thought it was canned meat, but then we found out it was tomato soup. Our theory is that this whole country used to run on tomatoes and no one suspected a thing. Yeah, yep, yep. Alright, time to ration supplies. Hungry, tired, hungry, tired. They're all fine. Day 10 is what we're going for before we feed them. We're a regular family, so we have the occasional argument or two, but it was never this intense as the fight we just got into. No one wants to speak to each other. Let's just hope it won't last too long. Honestly, I hope it does. I hope you guys go crazy, because that's a very difficult quest to get. I call my achievements quests sometimes. I noticed that on one of my last videos. I mean, it makes sense, I guess, but yeah. So they're all fine. It's day 8. We'll be okay. We're not sending anybody out. This is a joyful time in the sea of grief. It's Timmy's birthday today, just like last year. We waited until the last moment to get him a present, but this time our options are limited to whatever we can find in the shelter. What is he getting this year? Nothing, and he'll be grateful. He'll be happy for it. Time to grow up, Timmy. This ain't Kansas anymore, and Santa doesn't exist. Chill, brother. Don't say that. Chill. Santa's real. Santa's a thing. Don't need anything. We're on day 9, so we can wait till tomorrow. The trash is becoming full of empty soup cans, and that unmentionable bucket is overflowing. Both of them are attracting strangely glowing, suspiciously big insect wildlife. Roaches weren't that big before the war, were they? Now, I saw one achievement that I need to get, which is the roaches come in, they start to become smart or whatever. I need that to happen before I use the bug spray. I need them to be smart. So hopefully it like doesn't get people like, I don't know. Yeah, so roaches are there. I need them to invade and I need them to start being smart. There's like a specific event. Oh my, that thing is huge. And there goes another one. Roaches everywhere. We're doomed. We already feel all dirty. Alright, let's see. Now we do food and water for everybody because it is that time. Yep. Ted and Mary have been butting heads lately. Today they got into an argument about movie characters. Specifically, who would win in the ultimate battle? Peter Pan or an army of mutated cockroaches? It's a tricky one for sure, and the debate is heated. Who will come up on top? I'm going to say nobody because I want them to argue. I want them to go crazy. And I don't know. It's hard to find information about some of this stuff on how the sanity meter works, but I think that might be one. I'm going to try looking up more about that at some point and just seeing if I can figure out what drives them crazy. Unless I just actually get it this run. That would be nice. After hours of wild gestures, loud arguments, emotional rebuttals, and a few pie charts, Ted and Mary Jane finally decided it was impossible to figure out who would win. They shook their hands and moved on, but it's clear the issue's still bugging them. Alright, let's see where we are. Everybody should be whatever. Okay, he is sick, so we're going to give him the med kit, which lets us break that. The mom is starving, the daughter's starving, and the son is starving. We'll wait till tomorrow to feed them all. We are not alone. There's a huge hairy bunny beast that seems to be hiding in one of the pipes. It's been poking its head out, eyeing our measly food stash. We can't let it get to it. We can't let it be in here when we sleep. Use the gun. Let's hope it breaks. Pew, pew, pew. Pew, 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 pew. Yes. All right. So the gun broke. Now I think the only way we can use the ammunition is there's an event that comes where it says they're dirty. We can shower with the ammunition. So we're getting there. Our cans are safe. Too bad for the hairy mutant. Guess we're still on top of the food chain. Good thing for us. Mary Jane seems sleepy, etc., etc. We don't have a med kit anymore, which is fine. But we can give food. We can give food and food. We're not sending anybody out. We always wanted a pet, but we just couldn't decide what to get. A cat? A dog? No matter. We have our very own cockroach colony now. Unless we want them to stay and play fetch, we should start doing something about it to drive them out. Though the fetch option is quite likely, they're as big as small puppies. We're going to ignore them. We need a bunch of them, and we need them to get smart. So, we got to let the roaches stack up. We still only have one, I believe. Our new cockroach roommates can be a bit messy, disgusting, and annoying, but surely this is not the worst thing that could happen to us, and there's not much we can do about it anyway. Maybe one day we'll manage to convince them to pay rent. Yeah, maybe. Alright, we're on day 13. Okay, 2 people are sick. 2 people are sick. That's rough. Alright, the phone's ringing, but we don't answer the phone because that is the colony people. They're trying to start like a new colony or whatever. We don't really need that achievement right now. Alright, let's see what we got. It's way too dangerous to be randomly run to a ringing phone in the middle of a radioactive ghost town. We're not taking any chances. It took a while before the ringing stopped. It was pretty annoying for all of us. Alright, let's see. So, Ted is both. We'll give him that. She is both. We'll give her that. Let's just give her that as well. Yeah, let's just make it an all-around thing. That's fine. Nobody's leaving. It's high time we stopped wondering about what's going on and started asking questions, or at least listen to some reasonable answers. So how about tuning the radio station and learning a thing or two about the brave new world? No, thank you. Knock at the door. Alright, let's see what we got. They say ignorance is bliss. Another day without any clue what's going on might not necessarily kill us. Let's see where they are. Hungry. Hungry and sick. Hungry and sick. Hungry. We're not sending anybody out. A knock on the door is not something we take lightly these days. So when a man came to the door, offering a highly profitable game of cards, we weren't convinced. Is a bed of 2 soup cans and a card game reasonable choice for our situation? No, not really. We don't really need that right now. What we need is the events that break things. Hopefully we'll get there. Gambling is a terrible habit. What kind of example is that to set for the kids? We need supplies, but we're not getting them like that. We'd sooner rob someone. We sent that man away. Good riddance. Hungry, 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 and hungry. So they're fine for now. We can keep setting here. Another radio. See, I'm telling you, the radio, it just spams you like every other day. I think I heard the roach, so I think we got more going on with the roaches coming up. Let's find out. If there's one thing we need to do, it's use the radio on a regular basis. Don't care too much. Thirsty, hungry, thirsty, hungry, thirsty, hungry, and thirsty, hungry. Alright, so they're fine. We always wanted a pet, but we couldn't decide what to get. A cat, a dog, no matter. We have our very own cockroach colony now, unless we get them to stay playing. Okay, so this is basically the same one as the last one. We're going to ignore them again. We want them to keep gathering until they get smart. If we can at least get that achievement, that would be nice. Let's see. Our time will come, but for the time being, we'll just have to adapt to this living situation. They're here. We're here. Let's make the best of it. They're only cockroaches after all. Oh my goodness. I got 3 people sick now. Dehydration, starvation. Dehydration. 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 Luckily, we did that doctor thing. So hopefully, they'll come and fix everybody here soon. Last night, the whole shelter was woken up by Ted screaming bloody murder. He was terrified, shouting something about tentacled radioactive mutants on top of his face. Turned out, it was just Mary Jane stepping on his head in the dark. Ted took it very personally and demands medical care. Would if I could, brother. Would if I could. You're the last one, though. You're the last one that's not sick or injured, and good. You didn't get sick or injured again. That would have been rough. Mary Jane tried to apologize, but Ted was not having it. He kept lamenting about broken noses and cracked skulls, stumbling around the shelter and gesturing wildly, until he tripped over something and fell. Oh hey, a can of soup. That discovery calmed Ted right down. Got 1 can of soup, which is good. He's hungry. She's in starvation. Since they're sick, we're going to give them stuff as soon as they hit, because I don't want them to die. We're about to finish our dinner, and you can call it that, when we hear someone knocking on the door. It seems to be a trader who is very interested in ammunition. Okay, so I don't know. I don't think trading it counts as like a use. So we're going to ignore that. We need to like actually use it or break it. And trading it is not one of those two. So we're just going to hang tight. Tell the stranger is disappointed, but that was none of our business. If ever was a time to get used to life being disappointing, the end of the world is probably it. Alright, let's look at the food and stuff because it matters. Hungry, sick, starvation, we'll give that to her. Starvation, we'll give that to him. Trader alert, Timmy's salvaged comic books are mostly harmless science fiction pulp. However, some of them don't feature a brave Astro Citizen program astronaut, but cosmonauts. That boy has eaten up Soviet propaganda. What a disgrace. Should we banish Timmy to the wasteland for his traitorous ways and dispose of the blast? No! No! What? Get out of our shelter, heathen. Jeez, that's crazy. Alright, I heard a squeal. I think we have a cockroach thing again. We graciously allowed Timmy to stay in the shelter despite his actions. We believe the power of the rehabilitation and second chances. Also, we're running out of toilet paper, and these propaganda books would do nicely. Yeah. Thirsty, hungry, thirsty, hungry, thirsty, hungry, thirsty. It turns out Mr. Freeman, the physics teacher at Timmy's school, was right. 1 plus 1 does indeed make 2. In our case, it's 2 or more cockroaches because those little things keep coming. We need to clean up our mess or end up with a full-blown infestation. We're fine. We're fine. I would really love for the hospital people to come. Our new cockroach roommates can be a bit messy, disgusting, and annoying, but surely this is not the worst thing that could have happened to us. There is not much we can do about it anyways. Maybe one day we'll manage to convince them to pay the rent. Alright, let's see. Kansas soup. Dehydration. Jeez. Dehydration. Everybody! Everybody's sick and dehydrated. Okay. Okay, we don't want to mess with the radio. I'm getting nervous. I'm getting nervous. I'm actually getting nervous. We don't want the phone either. We need better events. Come on. If there's one thing we need to do, it's to use the radio. Not really. Let's see. Starvation. Everybody's sick, so we're just going to give it to them if they are that way. Because we're riding a fine line. We're not answering the phone. Alright, let's see. It's way too dangerous to just randomly run out and answer the phone. You're not wrong. Okay, sick and hungry. Sick, hungry, fatigued. Starvation, fatigue, sick. Starvation, fatigue, sick. Okay, so you guys get those. Yesterday, during charades, we learned that Mary Jane doesn't know how to spell anti-disestablishmentarianism, and it has left Dolores quite disappointed. We'll go ahead and do that, because if it gives us the med kit, at least we can get somebody healed, right? Didn't do it. Didn't do nothing. Ugh, great. Oh, it fixed the freaking gun? Are you kidding me? What started out as a spelling exercise has quickly found its way to a math revision, followed by a short physics course, and ending on tinkering with random objects in the shelter. Mary Jane looks exhausted, but we can't deny the state of our shelter has improved today. Ugh, okay. Where's everybody at? Hungry, thirsty, hungry, thirsty, hungry, thirsty. Everybody's looking a little rough. Sleazy looking traitor. You know what? Yeah, sleazy looking traitor carrying an equally scruffy bag on his shoulder paid us a visit. He offered us a simple one-time deal for just 1 can of soup. We get the bag and all of its contents. We can't see what's inside, and the traitor gives us an angry glance every time we step forward to the mysterious bag. Should we make the deal? Yes, we will make the deal. This is the cat. This is Shurikoff. So with Shurikoff, you basically that leads to 2 of the endings. There's I am the Captain Meow, and then there's oh goodness, sorry. A little drowsy today for some reason. This is weather. It's all rainy and mopey today. So there's We Are the Captain Meow, and then there is Cat Lady. So We Are the Captain Meow is basically the cats start multiplying at some point. You start getting a ton of them. And when you get a ton of them, if you can feed them and take care of them the whole time, because you have to give them like a can of food almost every day, when you get to that point, and you'll get to a certain point where the shelter's completely filled with cats, and you get the achievement Cat Lady. If you can't feed them and they're multiplying, then you get the achievement We Are the Captain Meow, because they kick you out of your shelter. So, fun fact. Hopefully we can get there. It's very difficult. I've not gotten those yet. It's very hard to do. As soon as the door closed behind the traitor, the bag started violently shaking, emitting screeching, hellish sounds. Terrified, we backed up against the walls. When the beast finally escaped, it turned out to be just an angry house cat. The feline gave us a menacing look and promptly sat down in the corner to clean itself. Its collar says Shurikoff. Is that its name? I would hope so. I would hope so. Okay, dehydrated. 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 And dehydrated. We're not sending anybody out. It turns out Mr. Freeman, the physics teacher at our school, was right. 1 plus 1 does indeed make 2. In our case, it's 2 or more cockroaches because the little things keep coming. We need to clean up our mess or end up with a full-blown infestation. Thinking about it, is the cat going to mess with the roaches? I really hope not, because I'm struggling with this. It does. It actually does. Mutated cockroaches say hello to our little friend Shurikoff. We are worried about these nasty bugs popping up in the corners. I'm actually upset and angry because I felt like we were getting so close to that achievement, and there's no way we're getting the cat achievement, you guys. What did we do? What did we do? I blame you guys too. It wasn't just me. I could hear you guys. I could hear you guys before the comment even hit of get the cat, do the cat, you need the cat ending. So, I'm kidding. It was me. Dang, I should have thought more. I should have been... Oh, my brain. Mutated cockroaches say hello to our little friend Shurikoff. We were worried that these nasty little bugs popping in the corners last few days, but our cat put an end to them. Spent all morning hunting the roaches one by one, and almost none were left. The cat then wanted some recognition for its hard work, dropping dead bugs in our soup. At least that's how we choose to interpret it. Surely it's not that much of a jerk to do it for its own amusement, right? We need to be able to use all the items. We almost forgot about this one time. We shared some water with a group of people dressed in lab coats. Out of the blue, they came back today and administered us with very healthy looking shots. So they were real doctors. Everybody's not sick anymore. Okay, so we're good. They came. At least we survived. We just need to break some stuff. That's it. That's literally it. Radio needs to be broken. Ammunition needs to be used. Flashlight needs to be broken. And gas mask needs to be broken. Possibly break the gun again. I don't know. Maybe I should send somebody out. We were never huge fans of mushrooms, but with the colony of them growing in one of the walls, we've changed our loyalties. We're all about mushrooms now. We want to eat them. No, you can't eat them. It's ridiculous. Okay, we may be hungry, but there are some things we'll never eat. Wall fungus is one of them. Good choices. Let's see. Who are we sending out? Thirsty. He's fatigued. Fatigued and tired. Fatigued. Fatigued. So the dad, the mom, or Timmy? I'm going to send the dad. I'm just going to send the dad. I don't think he's gone out yet. Let's hope he comes back with like 3 food, 3 water, because we're getting low and we haven't broken all the equipment yet. So we're kind of in a situation. Dehydration. Well, we don't really need to do that now. 31 is when we can do that. 31 is when we can do that. 31. So the next day, let's go ahead and give them all water. While trying to pet the little devil, we found a piece of paper on its collar with an address scribbled on it. Could it? No, we're not going to go to its address. Could its previous owner still be around and worried sick? Chances are slim, but maybe we should pay them a visit, or at least whatever's left of them. Okay, so we're not going to visit them. Today we give everybody water. This cat belongs to us now. It's our new dear friend and valuable addition to our bunker. We managed to use it as a pillow for the whole 10 seconds yesterday before it almost scratched our eyes out. Clearly it's very fond of us. It's staying, and that's final. Dolores will not survive without water any longer. Yeah, no, I know. All of you need water. I get it. All of you need water. We're not using the radio, so let's keep it schmoovin'. If there's one thing we need to do, it's to use a radio on a regular basis to catch any emergency broadcast that might transmit in our area. It's either that or the strolling around outside waiting to get picked up. The first option sounds a bit more sane. Starvation. So just the mom has hit starvation for tomorrow. When we heard a knock at the door this morning, we held our breath in fear, but we soon heard children voices coming from outside. We decided to open it up. Turns out the voices belong to a pair of Girl Scouts. They used to sell cookies, but now they branched out and they offer other items too. Smart girls. We're not trading our bullets. That would be insane. We need to use those. Phone rings again. Although the girls are very brave to walk around in the wasteland like that, sadly they didn't have anything to interest us, so we declined their offer and wished the girls a good day. And they left. Okay, starvation. Alright, we'll just feed everybody. We didn't expect to get a phone call, and you're not going to. Alright, Ted's back. And he's sick. Poor Ted. It's way too dangerous to just randomly run out to a ringing phone in the middle of a radioactive ghost town. We're not taking any chances. It took a while before the ringing stopped. It was pretty annoying to all of us. Ted has safely returned from his voyage to the surface. We used to think the waterfront before all of this happened. We used to go to the waterfront before all this happened. It was a great place to enjoy time with our family and watch ships, boats, and sailors. We were really excited to find one of our favorite yachts a few blocks away from our house. We found it a bit mysterious that it's now moored in the middle of the crossroads, but there are plenty of reasonable explanations for that. We found a few cans of soup in the yacht cargo hold. It seems rich people like soup too. Soup is great. We love soup. This last expedition got us thinking maybe we could just drive away from this nightmare somehow. Of course, most of the automobiles are completely burnt out, and if we find a solid base and scavenge enough parts, perhaps we could build a vehicle of our own. We better keep an eye out for those in the future. Let's see. So we didn't really get anything, I'm going to be honest. We might be in trouble. We don't... I mean, I guess we could get that book. Someone paid us a visit today. It was an overly cheerful, red-haired woman accompanied by a grumpy-looking mercenary type who was probably her guard. She told us that she was a trader and eagerly showed us the items she had brought along. I'd rather have the book, the scout book, than the harmonica, so that's fine. That's fine. We managed to work out a deal. The woman also gave us some tips about surviving in the wasteland, but her advice seems pretty useless. We already know that radiation is dangerous and that hitting a rat with a stick will eventually kill it. We thanked her and said our goodbyes. Alright, let's see what we can do. He's starving. She's dehydrated. Hang on, we gotta give her water or else she'll throw a tantrum and take off really quickly. Let's send... who's in better shape? Okay, they're both fatigued. We'll just send the mom and genuinely hope for the best. We have to survive like 3 days, 4 days. Oh, this is rough. This has been a rough couple of runs, I'm not gonna lie. Alright. This has been very difficult. Because now we got 2 people dehydrated and absolutely no liquids. Open in the name of freedom! Came a shout from outside the door. We weren't sure who claimed to be representing freedom, but we could hear it was a group of people probably armed. Anyone who introduces themselves like that is probably planning to kill someone in the name of freedom. Should we open it? I don't think I'm rich. I'm pretty broke. I've got no food or water, really. So let's answer this and hope for the best. It doesn't look like they stole anything, but yeah, it looks like they gave us some water. We regretted opening the door the minute we saw who was standing on the other side. Dark faces, rifles, determined looks of a band of teenagers. We're doomed, we thought. Then out of the blue, one of them asked if we were with the Reds. We'd never supported the Red Sox, so we confidently said that we weren't. The tension dropped immediately, and those nice young people gave us 2 bottles of water. They also told us to have no fear since the Wolverines were around. We're not sure what Wolverines have to do with all of this, but we took their word for it. Timmy. Poor Timmy. Dehydration. Dehydration. Starvation. We've been hearing some soft scratching noises on the shelter at night. We thought it was just the wind, but we were wrong. It's the cat. It's not really doing anything naughty. It just seems like it's squeezing through some holes in the wall, making its way outside. We're not sure where it goes during these secret trips. No, we're not going to visit. Just leave the cat alone. Leave the cat alone. Those aren't the endings we want. If the poor creature wants to run around a bit and chase radioactive moths in the nuclear wasteland, who are we to say no? We need to respect the cat's independence. Honestly, we probably need to respect it. Not that we're scared of it or anything, but sometimes it has a certain look in its eyes, like it knows something that we don't. Best believe it. Alright, what do we have? Fatigue, tired, sick, hungry. Fatigue, thirsty, hungry. There's a radio that we're not going to use. Not using the radio. We're good on that one. Alright, if there's anything we need to do, it's use the radio. Let's see. Time for supplies. he's at starvation. We'll leave him be for now. She's at dehydration. Leave her be. So the next day we're going to do that. The problem is simple. If you don't wash ourselves, we'll get sick. Seriously sick. The smell is really bad down here. It doesn't seem like it'll get any better over the next couple of days. How about we do something to fix it? Use the bullets. Okay, so this lets us use the bullets. We take it apart, use the gunpowder and everything. The map, the flashlight, and the gas mask are the last things that we haven't used. Or, well, did we break the radio? I don't think so. Dirty or not, it's a smell that gets... That's the bigger issue here. How do we deal with that? We've got some ammo, so why not use the gunpowder to kill the smell? Let's rub it in. Sounds like a brilliant idea. Turn the page. There it goes. That was odd. Starvation, and she was dehydration. We welcomed a probably crazy alleged scientist into our shelter today. Turns off, Shurkov is not only an incredibly ill-mannered pet, but also the scientist's highly valued assistant, whom he calls Dr. Shurkov. The cat's disappearance has left the doc struggling with his latest project. He expects us to help him out as compensation for keeping his helper away. The cat didn't care. It clearly wants to stay. The doc might be really crazy, but maybe his knowledge... Sorry, I got the hiccups. Is something that he can help us out in the long run. Okay. I think Dolores is back. Yep. Or was that Dolores? I can't remember. Yeah, we were glad to see Dolores has come back safely from the wasteland. It's quite a long walk from the house to the docks. We know of a promising warehouse in the area. It survives the blast, but the sea drowned half of it. We were hoping it wasn't the better half. The drowned half container in the back was labeled nothing important. It was full of ammo. Checkerboards was floating to the surface. It only took us 12 hours to find all the pieces to make it playable. Time well spent. We window shopped nearby parking lots for a vehicle that wasn't completely burnt out. Unfortunately, found nothing of value. Maybe future expeditions will be more lucky. So, she left and came back with no food, no water. Okay. No food, no water. We're out of food. Oh my goodness. Some door-to-door salesman found his way to our shelter. Remember from him, before the apocalypse, he came with a bunch of leaflets and tried to convince us to join something called Astro Citizen, but we refused. Now he just wants supplies and says he'll reveal some state secrets to us in return. I don't know this one at all. Let's do it. And we'll be out of water and food, which we need. And hopefully in the next couple days we'll get the best events ever and break everything. Most likely not. We are generous, so we shared our supplies with him. He tried to make us believe that America has a working space station in orbit. Or rather had, since according to that guy, it exploded when the bombs dropped. How convenient. A working space station. What a joker. He was probably so hungry and dehydrated, his brain started playing tricks on him. Yeah, we're pretty much out of everything. There's not really anything we could do. The cat wandered out of the shelter and returned with a small note from the crazy scientist, urging us to help him with his next project. He's building some sort of vehicular contraption, but gave us no details, only wrote that if it goes well, we can use this vehicle to get out of the wasteland. The doc told us to start stockpiling for the trip, starting with several bottles of water. He'll come around and pick them up soon. Yeah, we don't have no water, brother. We don't have no water. We don't have nothing. We're in a situation, sir. We're in a situation, sir. We'll just give her the... Yeah. Yep, this is pretty much done for. I'm assuming. Knock at the door. Gives us a bunch of food and water, I hope. I doubt it. Yeah, we don't have nothing. He's wasting our events. Day 45. Somehow they're still alive. It's crazy. I'm expecting them to die. Any day now. 'Cause I don't see us getting anything for it. Yeah, and then the radio pops up again, just wasting events. The only way I could do it is if I got the perfect events in a row. Yeah, she ran off because she's thirsty. Yeah. When Mary Jane found out she's not getting a single drop of water, she got furious. She stormed out of the wasteland, shouting over her shoulder that we'll regret this and that she's getting her water one way or another. We are seriously terrified right now. Yeah, they're in a situation. Something's missing. Let's see. Fan. Check. Strange noises in our pipes. Check. Hellish yells outside. Check. Oh, Dolores hasn't spoke for a while. That's it. And it's really strange talking to her. No, just don't. Who cares? Go crazy. Go hungry. Go starving. Go thirsty. All that. Starving and hungry is the same thing, but it is what it is. Yeah. We played a game of list the things you hate the most, and our neighbor kept coming up. Reminded that little weasel had a safe in his living room. We always wondered what's inside. Maybe the time to finally find out. But who will do the honors? Yeah, I wonder who. I wonder who's gonna go to the neighbors. Ted, you're being lazy, brother. You should have gotten up and did that. Yeah, the end. I guarantee you, she died. But let's see. What if she came back with like? What if it was like 3 food and like 4 water or some crap? I would have been so upset. A harmonica. We marched to Ned's house and found the safe cracked open by the blast. Most of its contents were destroyed, but we still salvaged something out of it. Ned was nowhere to be found. He likely perished to radioactive agony. All told, it was a good day. Yeah, no, we're done for. We're done for. Okay. I think that was enough runs for the day. We tried 3. We got, what, 1 achievement, I think, which is fine. But, man, it took a while. And we didn't get much progress on that one. That's hard. Like, we got close on that one, I think, because we got, like, over half the items used and the food and water used. But we needed, like, radio, flashlight, and gas master break. Yawn with me so I don't feel alone. Is that my cat? I'm not talking to you, Chico. My cat Chico meowed at me. He's like, yeah. But yeah, everything but 3 items. So we got close to it. I think that's going to be a really hard one to do. So we're going to have to try that quite a bit before we get it. But anyways, if you enjoyed the content, make sure you like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Like, seriously, that genuinely helps the channel. Liking the video shows YouTube engagement. Commenting shows YouTube engagement. If it's not something you want to subscribe to, that's fine. I don't mind. But doing those other things, they help out. And then subscribing would be awesome. You know, I'd love to see you around in the comments, letting me know what, your favorite roguelikes are, or what your favorite achievements to hunt for are, things like that. Either way, I hope you have a good day, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.